What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Sports with Warbs. Today, I'll be doing something a little different. The NFL wildcard weekend is coming up just in a couple days here, and I figured I would give out my picks. So I'm going to break it up into the AFC and the NFC. So starting out with the AFC, the first game is the Colts and the Bills. This is the first game of the entire weekend. My pick for this game is the Buffalo Bills. The Bills had a great season from the second half on. The second half of the season, they were pretty much unstoppable. They looked really good. Josh Allen didn't make a lot of mistakes. But yeah, that's kind of the big part that comes to it for me is that I think Allen's definitely ready to win a playoff game. Last year, we all saw what happened. He was a lot more accident prone last year. He was making trying to force plays. That was a big concern with him when he first got into the league. So this year, he's totally shut that out. I don't think he has any red zone interceptions. He's really smart with the football. He knows when to get rid of it. And I think that's going to be a huge factor. I mean, if you can put that much confidence, I think the Bills have a lot of confidence in Allen right now, rightfully so, going into a playoff game. I think that's pretty fair. They had 34.5 points per game in the second half of the season, which just backs up what I was saying. They've been scoring a ton. They've had a great second half. I do like the Colts. Jonathan Taylor. I watched a lot of Wisconsin when he played for them last year. He's a good running back. They've kind of gotten into the running game a little more in the second half of the year, which has done well for them. They've been able to get a lot more points that way, and they've been able to look a lot stronger. I think Taylor has touchdowns in his last 5. I just think the Bills are too strong. It's questionable right now as I'm filming this video if Diggs and Beasley will play. They said that they're not sure, but I'd have to assume, barring any giant injuries, they'll be out there on Saturday playing. So moving on to the Ravens and Titans. This one's a little more up in the air for me. I think this is, out of all the games I picked, this is one of the ones where I'm really like, I'm not quite sure, but I'm going to have to go with the Titans here. High scoring game. I'm going to imagine Lamar Jackson. He's had a great second half of the year. So I assume they're going to put up points, but Derrick Henry, they have the 2K rushing yards running back on their team. Tannehill is a good quarterback when it comes to playing on the fly. He is able to run it in himself. He's able to throw in touchdowns. He's able to give it to Derrick Henry. They can kind of do a lot of different things with that game. Their offensive coordinator is getting looks to be a head coach, which always bodes well for the offense. Like I said, high scoring game. I could see this one going either way, but I just, in an inconsistent season for the Ravens like this, I don't know. I think their running will give them a chance. They got J.K. Dobbins, who's also been good this year. But they're playing with a reshuffled O-line, and I just think the Titans will be able to beat them again, much like they did last year, which was also a giant upset. For the Sunday night game, this is the last AFC game. It is the Browns and the Steelers. So, unfortunately, I've got to pick the Steelers for this game. I want so bad to pick the Browns. Like all the other picks I made, I'm happy with. This one's the one that hurts the most, but I just can't. They lost their head coach, Kevin Stefanski, to COVID. They've had a good year. I mean, obviously, the Browns making the playoffs for the first time in a long time, and they had a good record on the season as well. But the Steelers blew them out 38-7 when they started Big Ben in week 6. I know they've kind of gotten there. That's a long time ago, so they could get into their rhythm a bit more. But last week they beat the Cleveland, did come back and beat the Steelers, but it was 24-22 with Rudolph playing. And they also lost to the Jets the week before that. So I don't know. I don't know if this is Cleveland's year. Obviously a step in the right direction, but I'm just going to have to go with the Steelers here. They started the year undefeated, and they have a great receiving core. Obviously Deontay Johnson, Juju, and Claypool, and they've obviously got the great D. So I think the safe pick here is the Steelers, unfortunately. We'll see where it goes. I mean, I might be rooting on the Browns a little bit, but I think if we're picking winners, I think the Steelers got it. So thank you guys for watching. Appreciate it. See you guys later.